You're listening to the Home Improvement Report podcast, episode number 44. Today I talk about an event that I discovered that took place a year ago. I was too late to the party, but in my mind, it's a great and interesting story. Hello, I'm your host, Gary Neidert. Welcome to today's episode where I talk about an event that took place November of 2019. Here we are, late to the party. Well, it's not really a party, but more of an opportunity to honor the past. How? Well, November of 2019, the new homeowners of a 5-acre compound in Preston Hollow, a prestigious area of Dallas, chose to tear down a European-style home that was built in 1939. They wanted to build a home that reflected their style. Fortunately, the new owners made it possible to sell items that could be reused. Items such as wood flooring, wood paneling, and a whole lot more. What makes this 5-acre compound, the 10,000 square foot house, and its architectural material so interesting? It's the former owner. And who is that? The legendary golfer, Lee Trevino. I want to read you some of the highlights from the article posted November 9th, 2019 on DallasCultureMap.com's website. So here's what the article says. Going to hit some of the highlights and make some comments after this. But here's the article. After 5 years on and off the market, the Dallas home of professional golfer Lee Trevino was finally sold. But the new owners intended to raise it and start over. The new owner is building, and so the sale is on, according to Highland Park Market, the estate sale company. Located in the posh Preston Hollow, the property is a 10,000 square foot mansion that was built in 1939. The compound included a main house with 4 bedrooms, a game room, sunroom, music room, and study, plus a guest suite with its own entrance. An eat-in kitchen featured high ceilings, and they're beautiful. I'll have pictures. I have a link to where the pictures are. Exposed wood beams and high-end appliances. It comes with almost 5 acres of landscaped outdoor space, including a private creek with a stone bridge, pool, tennis court, putting greens, and cabana with kitchen and fireplace. It was decked out. The majority of the items are probably best for builders, contractors, or homeowners doing a renovation. Few buyers have the wherewithal to remove something like chimney caps fabricated from copper, even though they're going to be really, really cool. There's copper everywhere. Weathered copper sinks and copper bathroom fixtures, including copper shower heads, copper faucets, copper towel racks, and copper toilet paper holders. But there's no copperhead snakes as far as I know. That's not in the article. Those would be easy for someone off the street to get. Other easily acquired items include yards and yards of custom drapes from prestigious names which I will not even try to pronounce. But there's some really prestigious guys there. And there are many easily detachable lighting fixtures, including chandeliers, French copper lanterns, more copper, sconces, and hand-blown Georgian bell jar glass lanterns. There are high-end appliances, including a Viking commercial range with 6 burners, griddle and ovens, and a DCS built-in stainless steel grill. What there is not? Golfing stuff. Just house stuff. That said, there are valuable outdoor appointments, including a roof made of slate, plus copper gutters, copper downspouts. Copper. There's a scraped walnut flooring, walnut paneling, and walnut stairs, an antique French mantle, seamless shower doors, and shower sets. There's top quality Pella casement windows and dramatic iron entry gates. Outside, there's a ton of stone, miles of pavers, capstones, stone walls, stone stairs, imported stone planters, and a cast stone well. A cast stone well, not a wall, but a well. The sale took place November 19th. The sale took place November 9 through 12, 2019. So what's really the point of all this, especially since this is old news? Well, it's the story behind the story. I've talked about that in previous episodes, looking for people to come on and be a guest as an interview. I want to find out the story behind the story. Well, that's kind of what this is. Imagine if you were to preserve the history of this old home. In my mind, a great story could be told when talking about a remodeling project. And here's the homeowners as they put the new old floors in their home during their remodeling project. Yeah, we were able to rescue this stunning scraped wood flooring from a home built in the late 30s. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And by the way, Lee Trevino and his wife lived in the house before the new owners chose to demo the house to make way for their dream home. Well, while researching the information for this project, I remembered 2 homes that were torn down to make way for something more current. The first one, I always have to take a drink of water in the middle of all this. The first one, Henry Mancini's home in Fort Lauderdale. For those who may not know who Henry Mancini is, he wrote the music, the score for the Pink Panther, and several other notable movies. And I found this very interesting. He was working for a movie studio, I think it was, and he scored music for an Abbott and Costello movie, a couple of the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and some others. So anyway, he's got some interesting backstory there, but great composer, great music. We used to, my wife and I, we used to be able to go to Fort Lauderdale and spend time down there. And we would go on the river tours, and the tour captains, they would give commentary about all the different houses around, who used to live there or who live there currently, and their backgrounds. They talked about Johnny Weissmuller, Tarzan fame. They talked about Lee Majors of the $6 Million fame, and a whole bunch of others. But there was one house they pointed out that was really stunning, I thought. I mean, it wasn't as big as some of the other mansions, but it's very interesting. It was Henry Mancini's home. It was built in the shape of a piano. We never got to go inside the home. We just would always drive by on the water and looked at it from a distance. So we had no idea what kind of shape the home was in. Well, a couple of years had passed from the time we saw the house, and we came back and we took a river tour, and the house was gone. They had scraped it. They had just cleaned it down to the ground. But that's kind of what happens in Fort Lauderdale on the waterfront properties. They will scrape a house, and even Henry Mancini's house, as cool as it was. The other story that came to mind, the other story, is more on a personal level. And this was my grandparents' home. This was the house that my mother grew up in, and where I have a lot of memories from my childhood wrapped up in this house. Now, it didn't have all the scraped wood floors and the wood paneling and all that kind of thing, but you probably could have taken some of the wood floor out and used it in another project. Other than that, there was a clawfoot bathtub in the bathroom, heavy clawfoot bathtub. but there were no real cool architectural details. My mother sold the house when my grandparents died. Then it changed hands again, and it finally wound up being condemned because no one had lived in it for a long time. People got in there, tore it up, messed it up, and one time it was condemned. So I went and looked in the windows, and in the bedroom, the floor, the wood floor, just cracked up. I don't know what happened with that, but anyway, the only thing that was worth salvaging was a memory item, and that was from my mother. There was a gate that we went by after it was all said and done. They had taken all the material off, and it was just a bare lot. That's all it was. So we went over there. We were looking for it, and she had hoped to be able to get the gate. I don't know the story behind that gate, but it was something that was special to her. The point to all this: look for the treasures and materials that can be used on your next remodeling project. Search out the story behind the story, and always look for an opportunity to share that story. Preserve the materials and preserve the stories. So what's coming up next on the Home Improvement Report? Well, I'm constantly searching for new information in the home improvement industry that consumers and contractors alike will enjoy. Also, I'm working on lining up some fantastic guests that I know you'll get some great insight from. And I bet you probably know someone that would be a great guest for the Home Improvement Report, right? Well, let me know a little bit about them and their story. Here we go. I'm always looking for great stories of business successes. You know, the story behind the story. Check us out on our website, thehomeimprovementreport.com. And of course, you can also go to iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Subscribe to the podcast and listen to the previous episodes of the Home Improvement Report. Contact me if you have any questions regarding today's podcast. I'm Gary Neidert, and you just experienced the Home Improvement Report podcast. Call me, 972-771-7899. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.